I'm going to start off this video by saying I am losing all professionalism when it comes to these primes. We are going with notepad screenshots and glossing over it. I am so tired of primes, it's insane. I'll still read it out and rank it though. So, for Styanax, I spent the most of my time at Olympus farming for the Mesal Relic, for 9 hours. 9 hours! The rest was easily obtained and opened with all of these items. For the Afentis, I spent most of my time in 4 hours. Plus the 9 hours at Olympus also just sucked. Good thing I got lucky from randoms having the relics and getting the items I needed. Finally, for the Athodai, I got it all very quickly, opening it with these drops. The total will be tallied at the end. I am just so done with relics. The same farm, same relics. It's just boring. It's so boring, and the drops are just not plentiful at times, especially with it being a drop chance to then open it to have another drop chance. Like, it's getting on my nerves. Like, DE, please, for like the first 2 weeks, could you please increase relic drops either in all missions or make a rotating special mission that has increased drops per tier of relic, or just have like weekends of double relic drops, like during the first month that the prime is out. There's multiple things you can do, just F tier for all of it. I am so done with primes, and here's the Syndicate relic list. Thankfully, Styanax is a really solid frame. Like, really solid. He's a frame that's already been released for a little while at this point, so we'll just do a quick once-over. His 1 lets him group up enemies in a very large radius if it impales and hits the floor or wall. It also kind of has a little bit of tracking in it if you aim a little bit to the right or left or above or below the enemy. The vortex with which it pulls in doesn't really last that long and only works on impalement, as I said, but if you get his augment, it becomes actually amazing. His 2 is a defense reduction health restorer, which is fine. Defense reduction is great, but it's only in a cone in front of him. I'd subsume over this one with Nourish, because Nourish plus his 3 restores Buku's amount of energy. His 3 restores energy per second, taunts the enemies, and restores shields per kill/kill assist. It's a pretty good ability with a very good range. Finally, his 4. Styanax rises up into the air and throws a lot of javelins at enemies. They do blast damage as a radial and slash on impact. Duration increases the amount of javelins thrown, and I find that kind of funny. It also has an augment that gives overguard to everyone when an enemy is hit by a javelin. Lastly, his passive. The more shields Styanax has, the more crit chance he gives guns. 1% crit per 40 shields. It doubles for spear guns, so like 3 weapons, technically 5. Overall, his numbers aren't low. He has good abilities that you can mod for, and subsume choices depending on if you want a grouper or a defense reduction. And his augments enhance already good abilities. I'd say A to S tier. The Afentis Prime is a pretty decent gun when used as a gun, with its 26 crit, 2.2 multiplier, and 24 status. The radial having the exact same, except the status chance being 10%. It shoots a projectile that lodges into an enemy or surface, dealing damage, then explodes, dealing more damage. The numbers are good, but it only has an explosion of 3 meters. You can put Firestorm on it, but 24% of 3 is nothing. It has low ammo count, low mag, and decent reload. It's fine. Styanax buffs this gun, so it's probably very good on him alone. However, that's not the main thing I want to talk about, because this gun is the gun the Scourge wishes it was. Its alternate fire throws the spear and does damage if it hits an enemy, impaling them. Now, if it hits the ground, it spawns a bubble that provides 50% reload speed, 20% fire rate and attack speed, 100% more reserve ammo, and 50% less recoil. It's kinda nuts. The field only lasts 10 seconds, but if you get a kill inside of it, then leave, / let the time of the field run out, it lasts for an additional 40 seconds. So you kinda want this to just buff a very strong secondary weapon. As a utility, I'd say S tier. As a weapon, I'd put it in C to B, so I'm just gonna stick it in A tier. The Athodai is, again, pretty alright. It's going above the regular one, and everything I said about it still stands. It's just a better variant of it. The locking of the alt fire when overdrive is active makes sense, but if I'm not wrong, there's another gun that does that, but doesn't lock the mag dump. I can't remember what it's named at the top of my head right now. But overall, it's a single target weak point gun with good damage for that gimmick. But it needs to be built for either that or its alt fire. High B to low A, since it is better than its normal counterpart, but I'm not entirely feeling A tier. Man, there is a decent amount of things to talk about when it comes to Sirius and Orion. So, with the farm. Starting with the mission. It's fine. You play as the Stalker, stopping your future sons from fighting for forever, and you recruit Umbra to go watch over your son that you chose, go after the two that accompanied your sons with fractured timelines, then grab a Void Core thing, bring it to Hunhao with everyone there, and he, I think, sacrifices his memories to revert a timeline / go back and change things to a certain timeline while keeping everything else the same, so that one boy isn't there but two boys are there, and then you cook for them and get a cute scene, and then you get the blueprint. I'm not even gonna try to say I did fully understand what exactly happened, except Hunhao lost his memories and reverted a timeline to be better. That took about 30-ish minutes. It's fine. It was fun. Yippee. However, now the real farm starts. So, it's Railjack, which, fine, my Railjack is built for this. Oh wait, that's not my Railjack. Is it at least okay? I mean, yeah, it gets the job done. So, for either of the two missions you have to choose from, you use Vena's Railjack or Ryoku's Railjack. Why? I don't know. Now, I primarily did Ryoku's side because fighting Vena at the end became the easiest and least annoying. But the mission goes as follows. Go to an asteroid, destroy it, collect it, destroy the infested in it. Sometimes more people will board, sometimes not. Destroy 4 to 5 fighters in sometimes a cruise ship. Then it's static for the rest of the mission. Destroy the turrets on this moon, get inside the ice cave, destroy the Maws, then get to the funnel room and activate the Oro Worm. During the Oro Worm, you don't have to do anything at all. Once you're inside, you just watch Ryoku disappear. Make your way to the Garuda room, killing a sister. Now the fight is decently hard because of how hard she hits and how much health she has. So I just use Mirage clones in melee with the 90% damage reduction ability so I don't have to care. Phase 1 is fighting her, then she spawns clones, and then it's phase 1 again. After getting her health down, you have to destroy blood orbs in these little containers to free Ryoku. Phase 2/3, depending on how you classify things, she's bigger, has more health, and you do less damage. But you do more damage over time as you gain more blood void stacks, so just melee her like I do in the footage because I did more damage that way, and 90% damage reduction is pretty good. I got it down to around 8 minutes, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less. Now, the drop chances for the items are all the same, 14.29%. It also gives a pity currency, and since you get the blueprint from the mission and the story mission, unlocking the stuff, you only need 180 of the currency for the frame. Obviously you need more if you're going for the weapons. However, don't do the missions interchangeably, unless you're going for both melee weapons, because one gives emerald talents and the other crimson talents. You can't buy parts with both at the same time. You need 90 of one or the other, because one side, when you choose, I think, Ryoku's side, you get the melee weapon Pride, and when you choose Vena's side, you get the melee weapon Wrath. It's kind of why there's two different pity currencies. It's also why I didn't talk about Vena's mission, because I did it once and I don't remember it a lot. I probably will just have some footage of it right here. Now, with all that said and done, what did I get? I got 5 Pride blueprints, 2 Sirius and Orion blueprints, 1 Sirius and Orion chassis and system, 1 Pride blade blueprint, and 1 Wrath handle blueprint, taking 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 49 seconds, adding 60 to the counter. Overall, not that bad. even with not using my objectively better and faster railjack, it was fine. The battles were annoying at the beginning, but I got used to them / cheesed them a little bit. I'd say A tier. Now, onto the twins themselves. So since Sirius is the first one, because I chose Sirius and not Orion, and I think that's how that works, we're gonna go over him first. All the abilities are also very simple, so it'll be a little quick. Sirius's 1 has him throw his scythe out, dealing heat damage in the status. It picks up items and hits on the way back too. His 2 applies jade stars that when attacking an enemy launches a star, exploding and dealing heat damage. They also regenerate pretty quickly. His 3 puts down a well of light that heals and revives allies. It also provides damage reduction, growing in power and size. The 4 will be talked about after Orion and the passive, because in order to switch to Orion, you just have to hold an ability button, and Orion or Sirius kicks their twin brother out of the way and uses the corresponding ability to the button you press. And also, when that happens, the passive activates, where for the next 2 ability casts, you get 45% more ability efficiency. When one of them is not in control, they become an AI-controlled companion that uses the gun you're currently not using.
Oh my god, you do. Does it use energy?
Do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Do it, do something, do the thing again. Do the thing! And since I was only using 1 gun at a time, my twin kinda just stood there watching as I shot people and sometimes casted an ability. Thankfully, they do cast abilities. And finally, when you cast an ability when below 50 energy, you steal energy from your twin. Onto Orion. Orion's 1 does a circular slash with his scythe, dealing slash damage in the status as well as reducing their defense. Orion's 2 puts a shell around him, and when hit, a clone appears, drawing their fire until it's gone. When it disappears, it explodes and it staggers as well. Orion's 3 has him throw out a black hole, drawing in enemies and keeping them there inside of it. It floats around, and you can use his 1 to hit it around the area, and Sirius's 3 to draw it back in, also extending its duration. It explodes at the end, dealing fire damage. Once you reach level 10, this appears on the bottom right of your screen. And every time you use one of the twins' abilities, a star is gained. You cannot get more than 2 of the same star in a row, so you have to use each twin. But once you get all of them, even though you can use it with just 3 stars, I don't recommend it, you activate the 4 and the twins fight in the sky. Their clashes sending high damage blast damage in a large radius with each clash. It's nuts. It does so much damage, and I paired it with precision and intensify, so that's why the damage is really high, but it's still so much damage. That's all of their 7 abilities and passive. Now I have a little bit of a problem, mainly with Sirius because all of Orion's stuff works, so he could just sit over there and do whatever. But with Sirius, I'm confused. His jade stars just hovered around me and it didn't feel like they ever did anything, and I don't believe I ever saw them go out and actually hit something. Maybe I killed things in an instant so it never actually went off. Maybe my graphic settings for recording and streaming screwed it up. I don't know. And I don't know if that's also why Sirius's 3 also is just not showing up. Because in the preview video, it shows swirling jade light that expands, but every time I used it, nothing. I don't know if this is a bug or what, but still, for the ranking, I'd say S tier. These twins rock. The Dex Nikana is a weapon you get from the anniversary missions that pop up every year, starting in this year. It'll be on the screen. It goes in it depends / S tier, cause you know when it comes, but you have to wait for the anniversary. So it could also be F? I'm undecided. The Dex Nikana is an okay melee weapon. It has a gimmick with the number 11. Instead of needing the standard amount of melee hits to go up a multiplier, you only need 11. So it gets you to max multiplier faster, but you don't get up to number 12. But other than that, it has a 24 crit, 2.6 crit multiplier, 18 status with decent damage. It's a slightly better Dragon Nikana, slightly worse Prime Nikana, still B tier. But I've been thinking lately, and talking with a friend, and thinking that melees are just okay in general now. We have so many guns that just do massive AoE damage and frames that nuke, so melees feel a bit eh. unless you really want one particular guy dead, or a boss. But if not, then the melee has to have a gimmick that's really, really good, or AoE, or able to be built with gas really efficiently, or you're using a glaive, or you're just using cooler bow. Anyway, B tier. Yippee! I hopefully don't have to do another prime for a while, so let's tally them up now. It was 2,120 in total without all the relics. So adding all the relic stuff, it ends up being 3,585. Yeah, it's time I start working on that number. Next video is going to be the 25th, containing the Dorklov, the Dual Viscus, the Idun, the Ekhine, and the Galeriac Prime. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want, check out my streams on Twitch and YouTube, and as always, take care of yourself.